As always, if you want to save yourself 5% and support Glen and I in a very tiny way, you can buy your eShop credit over at switchup.gg where you'll get 5% in cash back. Hi everyone, welcome back to SwitchUp and to a midweek sales video that has got some bangers in it.
Yeah, it really has. If you've got any Christmas money, I don't know, burning a hole in your skyrocket, then this may be the place to spend it.
Look at him throwing in his Cockney rhyming slang. Come on, man.
So 50 to 99.9% off, depends how far they go.
For sure. What are they? Well, let's find out. First up then, hot off the press, if you will, it's Hot Wheels Unleashed, which is 85% off until January the 27th. Have you played this?
I have, yeah, good game this, I enjoyed this one. I do like the fact that it ties into the Hot Wheels with the orange track and, you know, the licensed cars that they've had over the years. It's a nice, if you've got kids, you know, this is ideal for them to see their toys almost come to life, isn't it?
Absolutely. The track editor is absolutely amazing. My boy spends all his time just making custom tracks and then getting me to race them. It's a good game for sure, and it's worth that price.
We then got new Super Lucky's Tale, which is 80% off until January the 12th. And this is a modern platformer, but very much has its roots in the classic 3D platforming of the 1990s. Very good game, this one. It's one that does have a physical release, and when you see it, it is relatively cheap, but it's one that's also quite hard to find these days. So digital might be the way, and if you are interested, 80% off is a very good price.
Meet new friends, explore new worlds, and recover the missing pages before facing down Jinx and his villainous family, the dreaded kitty litter.
Following on from that, we had to mention LEGO Worlds at this ludicrous price. This is the cheapest it's ever been available. And do remember as well, we're kind of shifting regions. So we're going America, UK, and some of the prices will overlap, but not all of them. But LEGO Worlds at 90% off. This is a nice game, isn't it?
Yeah, my daughter used to play this all the time. She loved this game. And you can kind of terraform each of the planets that you land on and use the Lego pieces that you find to then inhabit the world or build bits and whatnot. Yeah, it's a little bit, not buggy necessarily, but it has a side of jank to it.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, but at 90% off, if you're interested, that's the time to buy it, isn't it?
Take the jank at that price. Kaze and the Wild Masks is 81% off until January the 12th. I haven't played this, but I'm pretty sure you reviewed it.
I didn't review it. Dave reviewed this one for us, but I have played it. I played a big chunk of it. And funnily enough, where we had Super Lucky's Tale a minute ago, which is like a modern but classic 3D platformer, this is very much the same, but a 2D platformer. Reminds me of the classic Donkey Kong Country games.
Oh, okay. We're getting another one of those soon, aren't we?
We are indeed. So if that's coming and you're interested in that, but maybe money's a bit tight at the minute, this might be one to pick up in the meantime. You have a number of masks that you acquire as you go along, and they turn you into different animals, and that kind of changes the levels up a little bit as you go through. But it's just classic 2D platforming. It's a very good game, very well constructed, and 81% off. Yeah, very good deal.
Honey, I Shrunk the Price. We've got Tinykin at 75% off. This is a great game. I'm really surprised to see it get that low, honestly. The stages are, as you'd expect, different rooms in a house. You shrunk down, and the Tinykins are the small creatures, so it has almost that Pikmin element to it. So as you collect them up, you then need to use those to help you enter the next area. And the overarching goal is that you're building this, I'll say a device rather than telling you what it is, because it will completely spoil the story. Right. But it's really good. I had a great time with this, but performance was naff, and then they patched it up, and it's decent. So yeah, it's a really high recommendation actually at that price.
We've then got Torchlight II, which is a classic, like dungeon crawler, loot collector, that sort of thing, where you go through each floor of the dungeon, going back to base, selling what you found, etc., etc. Very good game, this. I played this on Xbox Live Arcade initially, and then, or that might have been the first one actually, sorry, but then Torchlight 2 on the Switch. And I lost myself in this game, and I'm not always someone that plays such games.
Yeah.
But really enjoyed this one at 80% off, again until January the 12th. Yeah, that's a very good price.
I seem to remember you could get a pet unicorn in that one.
Quite possibly, yeah, I'm sure you could, yeah, which is, well, worth the price, I suppose, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Hack, slash and loot your way through the perilous world of Torchlight 2. Coming soon to Nintendo Switch.
I had a message actually a few months back from the developer of Doomsday Hunters. Now this was one of like the addictive games videos from last year. Cracking game, really good, a bit like Hades, had quite a unique art style, but I felt like it needed more content. You know, I finished it and was like, okay, did a few runs, there's a little bit of nice meta progression, but it needed more. And they added a big update to it, and they said, look, if you ever get a chance to mention it again, please do. And I was like, yeah, of course, because like, it was decent, got a high score. At the moment it's 60% off, which is the cheapest that's ever been in the US regions. And I would highly recommend going and checking out our full video. I'll pop a link to that maybe in the description.
Yeah.
Really good game.
Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town is next. This is what used to be Harvest Moon, of course, and then they had the name change. I played this back on the Game Boy Advance when it first came out and loved this game. In fact, I kind of got out of gaming and picked this up on a whim one day. I'd got a Game Boy Advance for Christmas or with a voucher where I didn't know what else to buy, that sort of thing. And this was the game that I was like, wow, yeah, this is fun. And before I knew it, a whole bunch of hours had passed. The Switch version is a remake of sorts in terms of the visual style. I don't like the new style, I must say, but that classic gameplay is still there. There are other options, there are a ton of different farming games, of course, but I really like this one, and 88% off as it currently stands. Until January the 15th is a cracking price.
Following on from that then, we've got Pirate Outlaws, which I mentioned, I'm sure we did a dedicated video, but it was like a sponsored video.
Right.
It was one of those where you just love the game, you know. Sometimes sponsored videos, we try and keep it very like level, don't we?
Yeah.
Factual, if you will.
Yeah, yeah.
But in this one, I just got absolutely hooked, completely addicted to it. It's basically a deck building roguelite, which we've got a lot of. You know, you got your Slay the Spires, all that stuff. But for me, and I've said this before, if you put pirates in a game, it's instantly better.
Yeah, yeah.
It's one of life's laws, you know, like gravity.
Yeah, that's exactly like gravity. See pirates falling out of the sky all the time.
Yeah. With this one, it came from mobile, so everyone in the comments was like, oh, the progression's rubbish. I've played that on mobile. But they changed that completely. They completely revamped it, and I guess that's kind of the hindrance of if you're going to bring your game across, there might be that perception of what it's like.
Yeah.
But it had none of that, none of those elements to it at all. You get different pirates, and then they're actually in charge of the different units. It's quality. Again, go check out the full video, but the sale for that one is 66% off until January the 12th.
Nice. Atelier Ryza 2 is our next one, and to be fair, 1 and 3 are both also on sale. The third one is less than 50%, so it wouldn't have been on here. I only picked the second one because it's the first one I saw. Is it a better game than the first one?
It is, but the words you just used there completely messed me up. I chose the second one because it was the first one I saw.
Oh yeah.
My brain's just gone, it's fallen out my ear. Did you notice I said January in French on that last one there?
I did notice.
Oh, always notices. Keen eye.
It's kind of one of those things, isn't it?
For you. Yeah, Atelier Ryza 2 was a lot better. It really felt like they kind of hit their stride with the character. They definitely knew what they were doing now.
Yeah.
The gameplay, the combat, but it was actually like the exploration. It felt much freer, and the story did actually make a lot of sense, which isn't always the case.
Yeah.
That's it. It's cheap as ever price, isn't it?
65% off.
Whew.
Yeah, so not bad at all. The first one was 70% off, if memory serves, and the third one, like I said, I think it was 45% off.
Memory does serve indeed. Finally then, last but not least, it's Darksiders 3. which doesn't go on sale very often, and it's the perfect sale pickup because I wouldn't recommend paying full price for it on Switch. Reasons: performance. It does dip in certain areas, but I did like the direction it went in. Now, you might not. If you prefer the full-on action kind of gameplay from the first one with those actual Zelda elements, which is a bit weird.
Yeah.
It's a bit like I don't know, like an adult Zelda game. This one took more of a Souls-like direction, that kind of Soulsy combat, bit more difficult, but the open world I felt was actually a bit more fluid here. Some good puzzling in there as well. But as I say, just watch out for those performance dips. I was saying to Glenn before we start recording, you can kind of buy things now with a bit more peace of mind if you know you're going to buy Switch 2.
Yes, yeah, you would like to think that when that comes along and these games are obviously playable on there, that there'll be a nice big boost to that performance, and you're almost investing in your future by buying them.
And if it isn't boosted, don't come to me.
No, we didn't say that at all.
Never.
I did say you'd like to think.
No, exactly. We've used very careful wording here.
Absolutely.
I would like to think that that was a wonderful list.
I'd like to think so too.
Yeah, lovely. Thanks so much for watching. Let us know down in the comments if we've missed any huge sales, and we will, well, we'll reply, all right? Unless we don't, and then don't sit down there waiting.
And again, we'll reply all right, possibly, was the official wording. So.
Exactly. Do go check out those 12 days of SwitchUp if you missed any of those videos, and just a thanks to all of you that enjoy the content. January is always quite a quiet month, so we'll try and get a few reviews out of maybe some older titles as well, just to fill in the gaps.
Don't forget, as Mark said, if you're looking to pick up any eShop credit, you can use our website, switchup.gg, and doing so will get you 5% of your purchase price back as cash back, and it does help the channel out and is much appreciated. Thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.